Please subscribe to Bear Nerd Fun. Smash the like button. Goodbye.
Hail to all. Hail we do not need. Hail to all. Hail to all. Now come on, Hollywood. Stop smelling your own farts. You might get mistaken for arse sniffers. Remember, when you go woke, you go broke. Hail to the Phantom Menace. Hail to the Phantom Menace. This is Bear Nerd Fun. Well, this person here I discovered had blocked me. Jeremy had put a post out there asking if people had been blocked by this person. Let's see, go. Oh, and Ichibaka replies to this one saying, probably the result of this. Alright. Now, Lucasfilm author has lots of problems with white people. Rebecca Roanhorse is the author of Star Wars Resistance Reborn. Never heard of her. Who knows? That sarcastic look implies hate toward white people. Interesting. Rebecca seems to have quite a few problems with white people. This is a quote of her Twitter. Well, this tweet too off a bit. Of course it did. There's a typo. Check out the natives told you so hashtag for more moments of white folks figuring out what natives have been telling you about our cultures forever. I'm native on my mom's side. I practice those ways and I've been taught. I've been also taught that behaving in this manner is disrespectful and not becoming. That's what I was taught. I was at a party with a bunch of old white people and I was gearing up to tell my story of when I picked Yale. It was the hot tour guide, don't judge, and the hotness, the hostess, interrupted my opening line with affirmative action, right? So okay, I drank all that old bitch's expensive wine. Apparently that tweet's unavailable. Schmam people piss me off, even people from a long time ago in another person's life. I hope that wine was delish. Definite notes of rich white lady tears. Yeah, she's not a frickin' racist, is she? Now, my family was very turn the other cheek, just ignore racism and it will go away. Never once had they stood up for me when some white adult or child said something racist to me. Stranger or family. Yes. I had many racists within family, so even though my mom and dad heard. No, way to go. Real nice of you to throw your mother and your father under the bus. I know in native ways, the way I was taught, you don't disrespect your elders. You don't talk smack about them in a tweet and air it publicly. It's considered dishonorable. Those of us that walk the red road, that were taught. You don't disrespect your elders. That's what's taught in native culture. Wonder where she was when that lesson was being taught. The man, they did nothing, but the family we came with, the dad's name was Bob, walked up to the man and cold-cocked the MFer for me. No one had ever defended me like that. I can still hear the sound of his knuckles against that dude's cheek, the satisfying popping sound. This is a hateful person. Straight up hateful. So sure, violence may not be the answer, but it made all the difference in a little kid that day, and I've never forgotten it. Well, number one, that is not a good way to condone yourself. That is the last resort. Only the last resort. And that didn't sound like a last resort kind of situation. That guy could have been embarrassed in front of a whole bunch of people and put in his place in a proper way. That's how I would have done that had I heard something like that. Shit, I just got around to watching Hell or High Water, and it's so well executed. Slow, methodical, angry, and fanatic thriller. Yeah, but so casually racist right down to the dying for the white character's redemption and the whole Comanche theme thing. I love a modern western, but I cringed through the whole thing, working up to throwing shit at the end. Hell or High Water. I can't say I've seen that western. I found a little review, and the things that she is talking about, it's about the character Alberto in Hell or High Water, who's half Comanche, half Mexican. And for his heritage, not just once but regularly, they rib him constantly. By themselves, Marcus' words are unequivocally racist, but his intent are far more complex than that. He obviously has true affection for Alberto, who chooses to endure the hazing to a point. Alberto doesn't think it's funny, but you can plainly see that it hurts. But Alberto also realizes that Marcus is a West Texas lawman of a certain age and with nothing resembling hate in his heart, so he chooses to forgive these transgressions, not excuse them, but forgive them for the sake of getting along day in and day out. So it's some borderline racist tomfoolery between people that know each other really well and care for one another like family. Sounds to me like this person has taken out of context what movie this is about and the era of people that come from those times. Outrage culture much? It's the assumption of realism, not the lack of framework. I think there's a difference because I see people familiar with culture but not the genre make the same mistakes. So the idea of this POC, don't write SFF, is the problem. More than what white people have no frame of reference. The assumption there is that the reader is always white, which is not true. Even the magic in POC fantasy books is assumed to be real. First off, what the fuck is POC? Wow. What's up with all the stupid freaking acronyms millennials use these days? I must have been around 9 or 10 and we went to a Lakeland family from church. There was a drunk white guy near us and a stranger, and he was scary as drunks are to kids. You know what? There were plenty of drunks in my family, and they didn't scare me. They were just drunks having fun, happy drunks. You know, it didn't scare me. People wear the emotions on their damn sleeves, and oh no, I'm so scared of that. Give me a break. And he was scary. Ooh, scary drunks are to kids. That BS. He was leering at me and saying sexual thing, and when I ignored him, terrified, he called me the N-word. Now my family was very turn the other cheek, just ignore racism, it will go away. Never once had they stood up to white men. Blah, 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 blah. Hate, hate, spew, spew, spew. So this is what this person is. She apparently thinks colonial imperialism and or imperial colonialism was responsible for cooling the planet, perhaps as a precursor to excuse a future genocide for the benefit of the imaginary climate crisis. Though Rebecca makes no mention of indigenous people who tore hearts out of the torsos of living people in order to appease their gods. Did they affect the climate in any way? Only progressive brainiacs can tell us. Well, I can tell you that my ancestors were the Aztecs, and they had a criminal legal system. Do anything wrong, get your heart cut out and sacrificed. That's basically the gist. That's my people on my mom's side. Of course, we have some Apache too. Fierce warriors. So, was there a lot of colonial imperialism and imperial colonialism going on in the 1970s? Now, some may argue that Rebecca was just talking about white racists and sexists. But remember, Rebecca is a SJW. That means her stories are very likely imaginary hate hoaxes, given the SJW proclivity to commit hate hoaxes of all the time. Yeah. So yeah, this person here, I'm blocked. And I got a feeling everybody that was subscribed to Geeks and Gamers and D-Day Cobra were used blockchain, I'm sure. Hail to the Phantom Menace. Now come on, Hollywood. Stop smelling your own farts. You might get mistaken for arse sniffers. Remember, when you go woke, you go broke.
Please subscribe to Bear Nerd Fund. Smash the like button. Goodbye.
Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Say hello.
Hello.
Say nerd fun. Nerd fun. Nerd fun. Say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hail.